Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 605. We are live tonight. It is Wednesday, December 4th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Anna.
Good evening.
And Christian.
What up?
And Paul.
Hello.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Eh.
I started a new reign of terror tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's your reign of terror?
I got elected to my HOA.
Nice.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah, they did not elect me last year, nor did they let me speak to campaign. They were just like, oh, everyone on the board is running for re-election, and oh, by the way, this is Christian. Okay, everybody vote. And it's like, not helpful. But tonight I got to introduce myself and speak my platform, and the people spoke and elected me.
Well, look at you.
So,
Get you get into office.
That certainly feels Transformers related.
Lucas asked how I was.
There you go. Well, and apparently Paul's doing pretty good because Botcoin crossed $100,000 or something.
I'm not doing good or bad. I just think it's fascinating.
See, I called it Botcoin, so it could be Transformers related.
You did
So,
call it Botcoin, but then it's inaccurate.
That's a trademark term by myself, though. So sure.
HOA does stand for Headmasters Owners Association.
No, it doesn't really.
Yes,
Just Headmasters of America is all it had to be.
Headmasters of America. That's right.
There we go. Jeez.
A Transtector will be arriving next week.
Yes.
It's a panther. It looks like Roxy.
Not the best disguise for the suburbs.
It's not supposed to be a disguise. And I don't live in a suburb. I live in an urban area.
Okay, herbs.
Yeah, so I will transform into the head of the panther, and Roxy will transform into the head of my suit. Double headmaster.
Okay.
Going for some
Undergoing
Headmaster
surgery for my
RC
birthday.
action here. Headmastering with your child creature.
Hey, yo, speaking of Headmaster RC, I saw our good friend Don out in the wild a couple weeks ago.
Good.
I think he and I are going to have lunch in the coming week or two.
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lucas and I ran into him at TFCon for like a brief second.
Yeah, I got to meet his wife, actually.
Oh,
That's
shit.
cool.
So,
She
yeah.
was not with him when I saw him, but he comes down here occasionally because he lives like an hour and a half north of me. So like when there's sales at the local comic shops and stuff, he comes down and hangs out. Anyway,
I always
he was
see
there.
him TFCon.
I said, hey,
I say
didn't
hi
say-
and he introduces himself.
that's good.
Yeah. Well, and we're all excited for the next TFCon. Well, I guess the one in Chicago. I should say
Yeah.
the next TFCon is
TFCons
actually
from
in
now.
right. Yeah.
LA is in March and Toronto's in whatever July.
Is anyone
And are we
going
going
to
to
the
LA?
March
Toronto?
TFCon? Are you going again this year, Anna, or no?
I'll probably go to LA, whenever that is.
I thought we were supposed to go to Toronto because you're like closed now.
I want to go to that too. I want to go to all of it.
Oh, there you
If
go.
if you go to Toronto, let me know. I'll come.
So you just
I'll
have to
come hang
make
out at your
up
house.
since you missed the last TFCon. You're like, all right, I
Yes.
have to go to extras to.
No, Anna didn't miss the last TFCon. She missed the last two TFCons.
Mm.
Two in a
Hey,
row.
I made it to last year's LA at least.
Let's go big. Let's go to TF Nation as a group.
But then I'd have to be in England.
Dude, it's a great time.
In England, though,
Yeah.
I can go there.
What's wrong with England?
everything.
You got something to declare? Yeah.
My
Don't
hatred of
donate.
England.
I've
I've
only been to
never
2
liked it.
countries, so I would like to add a third. So let's go to England.
So
Here's Birmingham.
here's my problem though, is that if I mention to my wife that I want to go to a Transformers convention in another country, like she's gonna want to go to the other country, but she does not want it to be associated with Transformers. So I don't know, man.
You just listen. This is what you do in that situation. You get a day where you're separated from the rest of the family.
Okay.
For one night or 2 nights, whatever you can handle, and then you
Uh-huh.
let your wife do the same thing, and you take care of the kids while she does that. If she wants to go to a castle
That
or
has
like
happened before
Taylor
to you.
Swift. What?
I think Lucas has done that plan before.
The kids are pretty self sufficient at this point, but I also roped her in to go into TFCon LA like the first time it
Yeah,
happened.
that's the what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
So, Lucas, would you say that you are looking forward to TFCon next year?
I am looking forward to TFCon
Okay.
next year.
What else might you be looking forward to?
Well, so this just happens to be the topic of the show, and I tried to make the most generic. I tried to make the most generic topic possible, so then that way we couldn't be off topic. But somehow,
That's crazy.
immediately at the start of the
You
podcast,
asked the off
like,
topic
Christian-
question. Cool question.
Christian is
Why don't
like,
you-
Why don't
"Hey,
you even theme it? Why do we
I'll
do
find
this?
a way." I don't know.
You could have
Right?
answered, "How are you?" with what you were excited to be looking forward to, Christian. You could have been like,
Yes.
"I'm looking
You know
so
what?
forward to blah blah blah."
You know what?
But-
I will take.
But he
the
had to
blame
keep it
for this
robot
one.
related.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
was just really excited because last year was so bad. Like, I fell in the day that thing happened last year. I found out I was losing my job. I fell in the shower. My then girlfriend said she was going to break up with me if I didn't get elected to the HOA, and I didn't get elected to the HOA. It was not a good day.
Why are those things related?
They weren't. They just all happened on the same day.
No. Why did you getting on the HOA? Why was anything contingent upon that?
It wasn't actually. It was just a joke, but it was like
Oh,
the first in a series of actually mean jibes that I didn't realize were so mean back then. Anyway,
So
Well,
I
I
do
thought
want
it
to
was
mention the people in the chat are trying to get us off on topic. Of
okay, what are
our-
they looking forward to? Chat people, what's going on?
So Zaldron is mentioning all the multiple leaks that we've been having, which I
Yeah,
guess
we're going to talk about those.
old
Bullhorn,
news.
Yes.
Old news.
Wait, this is old
Mom's
news,
old news.
Paul. Do you have your whole
Yeah,
list?
like
Can you just
3 weeks
yeah,
old.
just where's your list at, Paul?
Dude, I already forgot most of it, dude. I get reminded when someone's like, "Look at this new info." I'm like, "Oh, all right. Oh yeah,
All right.
NFL."
The leaks we have seen are Prima and Red Alert. Red Alert got colored models today or yesterday.
Are
Both,
there
probably.
heads involved with these finally or not?
Prima has a head now, and it's from the show. The G1 show.
Can we
It's
talk?
like the Cyclonacy head.
Can we talk about that? Or
Sure.
do
This
you
is a podcast
not
where we
want-
talk about Transformery things, so yeah.
That head is bullshit. That is not Prima at all. That is. I am pissed about that. I think it's cool that they are homaging that dude,
Made that dude.
but he's not Prima. Like,
He's retconned into Prima, but yeah.
not even. No. Oh,
Maybe there's an alternate head that looks more Prima-ish.
maybe. Well, I mean, that Prima is unknown. Really. There is no. We lost Anna. Sorry.
Oh no, we lost Anna. Anna, oop. Apparently she tried to call back or something.
I mean, I hope I wasn't offending her with my Prima talk, but
No, I think she just
so
there you go, she's back.
losing
You
my.
came back.
Having audio problems.
Oh.
I have no idea what you guys were talking about.
We're just talking
Please
about
It's
Talking
weird
about
because
Prima
his
and
ret-
We
retconning
interrupted
and
each
not
other like we are right
retconning
now, like we always
heads.
do. So it didn't happen.
Let's look. Okay, so here's his first look, sort of a generic robot-y guy. Yeah, they
It's
did
not his first
retcon
look.
powerful robot, and that's the head he has.
Is
It's
that
like a
Prima?
No,
Prima,
but it
yes.
is now.
Yeah,
That's just guy
That was
number
a-
57 in the
his name is-
Five
his
Faces of
name is
Darkness.
Powerful Robot, and he was retconned by Sorensen in the Allspark Almanac.
Ha!
Can I?
And then he kind of looks
Well,
like
he's
this
wrong.
sometimes. I would bet there's a head that looks like that in that other one I showed.
Well, the way
It would
I
be amazing.
interpret it, no one has ever really seen. He's been lost to legend. He's his head should be all new. Like it probably
This is what they
look like
should
that.
be using. This is the Covenant of Primus look, and they're using a lot of this body look, so it should look
Not
like that.
really.
It's the styling on the chest, I think, that I'm thinking is similar.
I mean, he's silver and blue. I'll give you that.
So what?
But-
Can you show what the head looks like? Because honestly, I don't know if I've seen it.
The actual
The actual
prototype
toy
head.
Hang on.
It looks
Essentially,
good.
it's the blue dude that Christian showed us.
Yeah.
It has like
Yeah.
the concave ears. Weird,
So
like,
Please give me a moment.
wait, hold on. Okay, so what you're saying is we've never really seen him, but somehow what we did see of the leak is not legitimate or something. Like it's not allowed. Like what? Like I don't understand the argument. If we've never really seen it, can it be anything?
it's taking
We
a
have
guy.
seen it.
It's like
and
taking a
this
dude
is-
named Fred and saying he's robot Jesus. You know,
This
like
is
it's not.
one of the options.
It's not
Okay.
okay. It's like ridiculous.
Paul
Anna,
isn't
I know
making the
you're-
argument. Okay,
Oh, sorry.
Lucas. Paul isn't making the argument that that toy isn't the Prima toy. Paul's making the argument that he just hates the primes.
You saying it that way.
Well, it's just
Here's how he
reinforcing
looks
my
in
hatred of the
Transformers
Primes.
1.
It's not making it any better. It's
Which is
just
what-
continuing to fuck it up.
Thought,
Every
thought
which
it would
way.
look like.
Oh my god.
So Anna, I know that you are typically very critical of Hasbro heads. What do you think of the leaked head that is not even colored at this point?
I already forgot it. That's how impactful it is. I think it's pretty forgettable, honestly,
showed you
but like
45
not
seconds ago?
insulting. Yeah, you showed it like 40 seconds ago. Okay, I remember it again. Like it looks fine. Like that looks like a good enough head. Hopefully it, can be free of all the things behind it when it's actually transformed right, but I think that's just like an upside down toy picture, right?
Yep.
We're just looking at the bottom of the carriage of whatever
Yeah,
vehicle
but
he
he's
is.
got
It's
those
like a turkey
ears.
doohickey.
He's got the ears and stuff, but
The ears are very 80s super robot. I always like 80s super robots.
well, I mean, they're from Powerful Robot.
Right?
There he is, right there. That's
Being
that.
powerful and robotic. Yeah, it's that.
So generic, he doesn't even have a name.
Just like
But
they
now
made
he's
the
Prime.
U-Haul robot
Now he's the
into
first Transformer ever. Right? Makes sense.
Totally
Yeah,
makes
So
sense.
Paul, have you ever
should've
hated
gone for
anything in your
this
life
look.
as much as you hate the upcoming Transformers line?
I don't hate the line, but like, just they keep. I don't know. Just really down on Hasbro the past like 18 months, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
This is better.
I think that, we kind of touched on
Where's
this
that?
last show, but Christian, I don't think you were on it, right?
I'm always on.
The problem with them introducing all of these primes with, like, there's not a lot of fiction to go on it, right? So they have to, kind of introduce the more additional backstory, but they have no method really of doing that. I guess that they will do it through the comics, maybe? Hopefully? Like,
Earthspark has primes.
what's that?
Earthspark kind of has primes going on, some sort of
One has
mythology.
primes. Earthspark has primes.
Yeah.
RID
So
has
Earthspark
primes.
could bring in some.
Right, but like,
The
what
IDW books have
really
primes.
makes me want to collect all 13 primes, other than
G1 had primes.
Your tendency to collect things.
G2 had a bunch of them.
Well, Right. But okay, like, you know, we pretty much get almost everything. So, you know, we're probably not the good group of that. But like the average consumer, like the person that's going to walk down the store at Walmart and buy a toy for their kid or whoever, like, why are they going to get this
I
stuff?
think they just got introduced to that lore from the Transformers 1 movie, which is great timing for Hasbro on that one. And they're like, oh, this is where it started. This is pretty crazy. And on the other hand, they'll think, hey, cool giant tank guy with flames. Yay.
You know, I would agree with you, Christian, on that. Originally, I was like, wow, they're going to talk about the primes, and that's what the next toy line is? How did they manage this? However, none of these primes seen in this movie are the primes they're making toys of. Any of them. These are bastardized, homogenous bullshit thrown in a soup toys. Like Prima, who is now a character that didn't exist and turns into a truck. So I think they're out of their minds because it's not a good synergy thing, except for using the word prime. Like Megatronus doesn't look purple and have a Decepticon symbol on his head. Alpha Trion's not going to be a wolf. Like none of it, it's going to be incongruent. It's incongruent right off the bat.
So
That's true.
You know, like on a lot of these, Hasbro's made pre-tools for like other stuff that they really want to actually make, right? And we've all complained because whenever they do some of this stuff, it's not accurate enough, right, to the source material, like for some of these pre-tools that they do. So these primes, what if this is just a way to pre-tool crap and fit it in and then say, hey, it can't be inaccurate if like we never really truly had source material to pull from? Does that make any sense?
Sort of.
Like if they just make these all generic like tools to where they're like, all right, we truly only have like whatever 4 new figures, and we're gonna make a whole year's worth of like of a product line out of these 4 core figures.
I don't know. I really am the opposite of Paul on this. Like, I have wanted toys of the 13 since I found out the 13 existed in probably 2002 because I was little. I'm super excited about it. Like, I hope they go with the macadam look for Alchemist Prime. Like, I think that'd be cool. Really cool because we've never had a macadam that looks like the macadam that was over there. We've had the other one from Cyberverse, who is a different thing, but like that would be really cool. And Micronus that looks something like from Robots in Disguise, I think would be really cool.
So you do have expectations. You do have expectations.
I have some expectations. I think their Megatronus Fallen looks really good. It's a great homage to both the War Within design and a little bit of the ROTF design and a little bit of the Robots in Disguise design too. Like, they're making like archetypal versions of these. They're combining all the bits and pieces, and I think that's okay. I mean, I guess we'll see with the other ones. I like Megatronus a lot. Prima, I like a little bit less. Vector, I like pretty well. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like, oh, it's the best thing ever, because we just don't know. We just don't know yet.
I think that really goes back to both Lucas and Paul's points that, you know, it's not really this whole combining everything together, as Paul would call it bastardization, as you would call it like synergy of all the different things, like that really works for the Christian in the group, right? For the people who know all of the background, yes, all of the lore, and really care about like every bit of the lore. And then you have people like, you know, me, and I think honestly most of us who are like, we know a lot of the lore and there's a lot of things we just don't care that much about. We'll still probably collect them because they're you know, part of it or whatever these days. But then yeah, I just don't see the wide appeal, right? I don't see the wide appeal. But to be completely frank, we've had a toy line on mainline shelves for years now that is celebrating characters that don't appeal to the kids and the parents. You know, G1 Gears, like, was that toy for kids? right? No, that toy was for us, right? That wasn't to kid appeal, Brawn and all the different, very G1 animation accurate looking characters, which were super cool to us. I don't think they've managed to successfully appeal directly to kids with the main line for years, and it's still working.
It's a great point.
So
It was a
I
long
just
point.
think that I feel like that this is going to flop is like my point. Now, that doesn't change. I'm actually excited for this line. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I don't know what it is, but I feel like that this fits in more with my collection than some of the other legacy stuff, just because for me, like, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of having like some of these random Unicron trilogy figures that like it's like, oh, we're not gonna, but they're not gonna do everything. You know what I mean? Like they're only gonna do bits and pieces. And so it's like I kind of almost want everything or nothing a little bit. And then the Transformers Prime figures that they've released, like the G1ified ones, like I just am not a huge fan of a lot of those at all. And so, what's that?
They got better as they went along. Like on one side you have RC and Bulkhead, and then you end up at Dreadwing and Skyquake. And it's like, okay, these are much better.
Sure.
In the middle you have Knockout. It's like that's fine as well.
But I don't know. I just feel like too that a lot of people are just going to feel the need to skip these. And I don't know. We'll see. But it's also, is this the last like leg of the trilogy, right, or whatever?
No, this is something else. We've just finished it, or we're about to finish it with United.
The next thing. Okay, so this
Yeah,
is
the next one.
I don't know. Because are they? I don't know. I guess we don't actually know what they're doing. Like whatever. 2 years from now.
Not really.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if the age of thing is like a thing. So like it's the age of the primes, and the next one's like the age of the Titans,
Combiners.
and then it's like the age of the combiner. Whatever. Yeah, they tell a story about what's happening during various points in time, and Roxy's going to tell you about it right now. She was looking directly into the camera.
She was. It was adorable.
That would be
I like
nice
Roxy
if they
at the new
told a
cast
story.
member. It would be nice if the toys got to tell a story. I would really like that again. I realized that we've been doing a story-less toy line for so long now. I don't know if it's ever coming back to be a, main line is the storyline.
From like the Amazon descriptions or whatever Mark decides to drop on us, which is very nice that he does that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing officially published that keeps that stuff in line.
Yeah, that's true. That. Like the only story we get is from the live streams, like offhand sentences that are spoken like off microphone.
You know what I would actually kind of like, and I almost kind of wish that Mark and Evan could just do a weekly podcast of like storyboarding and like lore and whatever. Like I would totally like just them geeking out about all this crap. Like I would listen to that.
How would they ever do their jobs?
Wow. They probably do that anyway. Like it's just putting a microphone in front of it.
So Mark did actually drop a little bit of lore stuff about Age of the Primes. What, last week, Anna, when we were talking about it over Thanksgiving?
I think so. Yeah.
Something about the bloodlines of the descendants of the Primes will play a part throughout this next bit of toy lines. So that's like what does that mean, Mark? Are there symbols on the other guys? Are you supposed to take design elements in common? Like what does that mean? I hope we'll find out soon.
Oh, it
Also,
could be.
Sorry, Anna. How do Transformers have descendants?
I don't know. How are the Maximals the descendants of the Autobots? They just are.
Budding,
typically, yeah.
So it could be something like Age of the Primes, followed by like Heirs of the Primes, followed by like Death of the Primes or something. It could be something like that. it's all in of the primes, so we get descendants, and then we get like a
Heirs of
negative
the
universe.
Prime sounds cool. I mean, they kind of did that
It
with
does.
the Japanese like color core guys. Like they had the original Primus Vanguard, and then they had like the new Primus Vanguard. I like that.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
I
it
do
was
want to
just
mention.
cool to
It
actually see
doesn't
it go.
make a lot of sense, but like, I like it as a concept. You've sparked something in my brain. I'm thinking about it.
I do want to mention that Talib has been marked safe from collecting the 13 primes. So.
Talib has also been marked safe from being my friend.
Oh.
We are
I will
enemies
say
now.
this. I think that this line will shell form a lot, which means down the orders are going to get lower and lower, and 10 years from now you're going to wish you were living during the age of the primes if you want these. So as much as I think they're gonna fail, like I wouldn't snooze.
I'm not so sure. I mean, just this is anecdotally, right? But at Baltimore this year, I was selling my Power of the Primes pretender-ish prime guys. And I had a lot of younger fans, like, 12, 13, 14, like me at my first show. They were coming to find those because they were excited to pair them up with the new primes. They're very excited about the new primes coming. So, like, maybe it's the original Miis or the new generation of Miis coming in, and they're very interested in that lore, just like I was when I first came in. And now
actually
there's
went back
figures
and
of it
got
at their time.
Yeah.
I went back and got a set of those for that purpose too.
There you go. See?
No, I mean,
I thought it
I
would
do
be
think
cool to
that
have them hold themselves.
there is a portion of the fandom, a pretty decent chunk, that wants to collect it all. And I think especially like if you sit there and take from Combiner Wars forward to now, like, and if you say, hey, that's the spot where I want to collect going forward. Yeah, like I think exactly that, Paul. I think there's a lot of stuff now that's coming out currently that is on sale, and that will probably also be the exact same type of thing.
Those dead 86 toys, those murdered ones, those are going to be hot shit in 10 years because they're never going to do that again.
That's true.
I just want a dead
always...
Starscream. Just please, just get that far, please.
Because is the Starscream going to be essentially like a gray Starscream that's crumbling or something? Yeah.
He's going to be a sand in a mold.
That's what I want.
If you open him, he literally crumbles.
Just going to be gray. It's going to be the moment he gets shot. That's what I want. That's what everyone wants.
Except for all the people who don't want dead Transformers.
Dead today, alive tomorrow.
Yep.
Kind of. If that's how we get Wind Charger for the first time, I will be very upset. Like, you can finally get a new Wind Charger, except he's dead.
I guess that was our beginning of the what we're excited for. Because my sound was out when we started this Primes conversation.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Sure.
Okay, fantastic. I'm excited for collaborations that are both exciting and weird and confusing. Earlier today, slight news was coming out about the NFL collab with Transformers, whatever that's going to be, and I am really curious to see what they do with that. Like, I'm not a football fan, but like that is either going to result in a bunch of like weird Godzilla-esque Transformers barely crossovers with NFL teams, or a series of transforming footballs, which I'm really excited for in that case.
Do you want to know who the teams are? Or is this common knowledge, Christian?
Well, the new knowledge is that all 32 are getting them.
All 32.
All 32 are getting them over multi-year deal that Hasbro has with them. But what's not common knowledge is the 4 that are coming first that you told me.
Oh, it's interesting to know.
to know the things? Have a
Yeah.
drum roll, please. First, it's the Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs.
That's shocking. What?
Shock.
Anyone live in Kansas City? Anyone ever been there?
Yeah.
Never
might
heard of
have to
it.
get that one there, Paul.
All right. Next up, we have a little team in Dallas called the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No love there. Okay.
America's
The-
team, sure. I mean, whatever.
America's ass. Yes. And the Steelers. And as a Chicago fan, my favorite team, the Green Bay Packers. Those are your 4 NFL teams for 2025.
Just Anna, as an aside, I don't think they'll be balls. I think they'll be helmets.
Okay.
I think they'll make a mold and repaint it 32 times.
Oh my God. What if it was like one mold that was some sort of like, football themed like van or something, and it was a headmaster, and they just did it with a headmaster helmet guy of all the teams? That would be so terrible.
That could kind of work.
That'd be cool.
But if it was the van, I'd be in for it. If it was like the team van, or not van, but bus. It was like the team bus, but
Transit.
that makes sense.
I have something over here
There you
that
go.
I want to get to talk about this. I'm going to put myself on mute, but I'll be right back because it's right here.
Meanwhile, while he steps away, I will say I'm excited for other crossovers because we talked about it quite a bit before, but I'm really excited about the Rathalos from Monster Hunter just because it looks really good. So it's a really good Rathalos and a decent Transformer too, based off of a good Transformer. So that's a really exciting, weird crossover.
Only thing I have on order is the Godzilla stuff, which I know no one's excited for.
So controversial, right? Like that one is so controversial because some people just absolutely hate it. And some people, have to have it because they're Godzilla collectors. And then other people are actually somewhat excited for it.
Oh, you seem to be describing the TFYLP Discord on a daily basis.
Yep, I am. It's like I talk to them every day. You know what? I don't think any of us are excited for the Naruto one, though.
No.
I find it amusing. I think it's kind of hideous, but I like the frog that comes with it and hope that becomes a certain series of frogs.
Is the Naruto one even being sold over here? It did go
it's
up on
sold on
Pulse, didn't
Pulse.
it? Okay. I couldn't remember.
What's
It's just
that,
one of the
Christian?
Godzilla ones did not go up, right? But the other one did. Yeah.
That's a football helmet, man.
Yeah, this is my Panthers transforming helmet circa 2000, probably. But they did these for like most of the teams. And their secret to doing that, removable head. Flip it up. Put the face mask together. Ta-da. Feet. And then collapse in. And there you have a Panthers helmet.
Nice. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It was a neat thing I picked up at a game, when I was an actual child. And it's just kind of cool. From what I know, from what I've heard, they did them for most of the teams, if not all the teams. So I would like to see a return to this. I can't even find any markings on it that would indicate who made them. It's licensed by
I've never
Riddell,
seen
though,
that before.
You should collect all the teams, Christian.
Maybe I should. I'm kind of thinking I should for the new ones if they're anything like this. But yeah, the secret was they molded the heads and they're like the rubbery plastic. So I'm sure they were cheaper than the rest of the mold. So they just made 32 heads and one helmet.
It would be nice if they were a small, simple, cheap thing like that. I'm expecting something more ostentatious and big and
probably.
bulky, but we'll see.
Deluxe at least. But
Yeah,
If they're only doing a few a
Yeah.
year,
Bucks. It's unclear if they're going to be sold in like 2-packs, like versus things, or individual.
that'd be interesting.
And I don't have a price or like a unit count or any of that crap, so JT Prime probably knows more.
I'm sure we'll find out soon. If we're
Just-
getting some details, we'll get more details soon.
This just happened to be nearby when we were talking about it. I was like, oh, I can actually bring this out and show it.
Huh.
Go Panthers.
You know,
Let's see,
Anna,
it's like 3 logos ago.
at least in the US crossover stuff, that seems to be like where the real action is in Transformers.
Mhm.
Like that's where the new creative things that are making decent toys that isn't just the same stuff you've seen a million times. That's where like
Yeah. Yeah, because I have to say that Knight Rider crossover, right? Like that is really cool looking. I'm not a Knight Rider fan, so I didn't bother trying to get it or anything, but that is just really neat. Like it came out cool, it came out interesting. They did some new stuff with it they don't usually do. It's big, it's neat.
I didn't care much about it until recently, and I finally got a hold of one, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool. This is like as good as Ectotron, if not better. It might be the best one so far."
Yeah, I think those collabs are really neat, and I hope they. It's like I simultaneously hope they keep doing it, but I also hope they cool off just a little bit, so it's not like crossing over with everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would have never expected them to do as many collaborations as they have. I feel like that they have quite a bit, and yeah, I wouldn't mind them kind of slowing down a little bit because I almost feel like I'm overwhelmed with, the amount of crossovers they do now.
I'm really the one I'm most curious about is this Macross one that hasn't been revealed. I'm like, it seems like the weirdest crossover ever because it's like crossing over jelly with another type of jelly or something. It's
Yeah,
not peanut butter and jelly. Probot. Wow.
They were called Probots.
Now you know how to
Nice.
collect. Now you know how to find them. Yeah, we don't know what that one looks like, and they announced it with the Wrath, even before the Rathalos, I think.
yeah, I think so.
Don't think I heard anything about a Macross Transformer. That was
Yeah, I
interesting.
didn't realize that.
It's from Macross Plus or Macross 7. It's actually one I'm not super familiar with.
Okay.
Not very related, but I was walking through Ollie's over the weekend and I saw that Macross had licensed out something for Jada, like a car and a pilot or something. I was like, I didn't know Harmony Gold was like licensing things anymore. So that was kind of just weird to see. Maybe they need money.
The Macross or was it Robotech?
It was. Good point. I don't remember specifically.
That's a dark tunnel we don't need to go down, anyways. Anyway,
It's an
sorry.
amazing tunnel.
I hadn't heard anyone
Robotech.
talk about that Macross crossover in a while, Anna. So I just wanted to mention it. Looking forward to that.
No,
Sorry.
it's an exciting one. Like I said, I think the crossovers are really fun. I wish it's weird because I was really excited for the Dracula one, and I got it, and it's really underwhelming. And the Frankenstein also looks underwhelming. I wish ones like that weren't happening. That and the Jurassic Park ones,
Those are both half good.
Yeah. The first pair of the Jurassic Park ones kind of shelf warmed, so you wouldn't have expected a second pair, and then we got a second pair. And did you end up getting the second pair on Super
Yeah, I
Crunch,
think
Christian?
when Amazon dropped them to whatever 27 or 28, I finally got them. Now they're 20 at Ollie's, but yeah, I got them.
Well, I guess I should go ahead and look at my Ollies. I wasn't going to get it because I was like, whatever. But if they're only 20 something bucks.
They're 20.
Yeah, the truck's
nothing
good. The
bucks.
dinosaur's bad.
And the truck bot mode is bad, but the dino
Yeah.
bot mode is good. So they're exactly half good.
I think the truck bot mode. I think the dinosaur is all bad and the truck is all good. But I like
Either
the
way,
weirdness of the truck.
it's half good.
Yes, it's half good. I really don't like the dinosaur.
We should have just split us up then.
But yeah, I am excited for some of the crossovers though. Like I said, that Rathalos is really cool. And
I'm excited for Hot Wheels crossing over.
Yeah.
Because we got Transformers Hot Wheels. Now we're going to have Hot Wheels Transformers.
Yeah. Well, I already got
And another
an Optimus
Transformer
Prime,
Hot
right?
Wheels. No, well, okay. We gotta specify. So far, we've had Transformers Hot Wheels. Transformers
Okay.
characters that are now Hot Wheels toys. And we're getting another one of those next year in Ultra Magnus, which is great. Yay. But also next year, we're getting Hot Wheels Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Hot Wheels
I didn't realize
cars
that.
that are now going to be robots.
yeah, so I guess they're going to use iconic Transformer or iconic Hot Wheels cars and make
Yep.
them into Transformers.
Paul, you
Oh, that's
had
kinda
those
fun.
two. One of them was the Twin Mill, I think.
Twin mill, that is not a windmill, but two windmills. Twin mill. Double mill, as they'd call them in the Titans
They
retreat.
could repaint that into Windmill, who is a dude.
And another one is Bone Shaker.
Hmm.
My favorite name. Look those up. Those are like weird hot roddy Hot Wheels cars that I guess are unique to that brand. They should do that dragon one. I always thought that was a cool car design. You know what I'm talking about? Snaky dragon, Nick.
Yeah, do that
Yeah.
one too. There are a bunch they could do. And I think they should and probably will.
Yeah, where I grew up, Hot Wheels collecting was really big. So I've heard of both of those. So they're definitely iconic Hot Wheels. It'll be cool to have them as
This
Transformers.
really does seem like a you got your peanut butter in my chocolate, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter moment, because I mean Hot Wheels is all about those weird, wacky, unique looking cars. And Transformers likes to take those kinds of things and turn them into cool robots. So like now
There you
they're
go.
doing that.
You know, you sold me on that. I think these are going to be big. The transforming Hot Wheel cars.
I think as long as they're not the same as that transforming Hot Wheels Optimus, it'll be fine. And I don't think they will be. I think they'll be, deluxe-ish.
I hope
And
so.
they'll be able to sit with your regular legacy type collection. That's
I
not
think
any
the only
information.
bummer
That's
might
just
be.
what I feel in my spark.
I think the only possible bummer would be if they try to remold existing toys into them without really doing it right. Like they really need to just look like the Hot Wheels. Like their car modes need to be perfect because it's all Hot Wheels is, right? And then the robot modes can be whatever at that point. They can be whatever weird, wacky, creative robot modes.
Well, I mean,
do
these
consider
they should be able to do it right. They should be able to. That's what this line has projected to me.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Yeah,
limit.
they have done so many of these right.
Yep. And if they have to do the remold thing, we did get Ectotron out of Hotspot. Like, when did that happen?
True.
We did get Gigawatt out of Sideswipe. Like, that happened as well. So
And both of
it can
those
be
are
done.
perfect recreations of the cars, right?
Yep.
Like they're really good recreations of the cars.
And we got Expanse from Jetfire.
Who
Wasn't that
also
cool?
exists?
Wasn't that awesome?
I mean, the vehicle mode is really good on that one. I mean,
The vehicle
yeah.
mode is really good.
So, two and a half there out of
They
three.
can't all be winners, They can't all be. Be
I
nice.
think there's potential if they do go the remold route. I think they'll do it right. I think they will be committed to doing it correctly, however they can get it done. So I'm looking forward to those too.
Yeah, see, there you go. You just have to be reminded of the things you're looking forward to.
Any other things on the Hasbro front next year, Paul, that we haven't talked about?
That we care about.
I mean,
They're
Wasp is coming. I
reissuing
think that's
Triptychon.
cool. Yeah, Triptychon's back. Sure Shot got killed again, so that's not good.
Like, it has
just
to
a
show up somewhere,
Devastator.
right?
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, Devastator, I mean, I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that.
I got something I'm looking forward to.
What is it, Paul? What are you looking forward to?
I just looked at my little list, and I can't wait for the 6 months of vitriol hatred we're going to get when we finally see 86 Megatron.
Yay!
I can't wait. I feel like I've already lived it once. I get to live it again, but even harder.
It's so funny, like everyone's still complaining that he's not going to be a gun. Like it's just accept.
How did that even blow up this year? Like that was
Every
so
day.
I don't know, man.
It came out of nowhere.
Everyone forever is just going to be so mad about that.
No, just shut up.
I still think I'm just holding. I have a little match in a dark room. I'm holding out hope for Takara Tomy. I'm holding out hope for them to go rogue and just do it. I feel like we're almost there.
Did.
They can do. I think they can. I think they're unchained again. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I still feel like that toy could end up being something that will make Christian and I very happy. I think they could make a bot mode Megatron that looks like he goes with 86 Optimus correctly, that just transforms into the wrong thing. And neither of us are really going to care, because transforming into a gun the size for a Starscream toy to hold is impossible. So, it doesn't really matter what he transforms into, as long as he's a competent transformer and also looks like the cartoon Megatron. I'm going to be pretty thrilled. He could look as good as that Optimus does. That Optimus is ridiculous.
I was hoping it would do the fireworks thing with the double thumbs up. It wasn't doing it this time.
It's not doing
I
it today?
agree.
Not doing it today.
Is there like another
yes,
update to
and,
Skype that like they took that
probably.
feature out?
Probably, because I was overusing it. Skype doesn't like fun. But yes,
so
I agree with you.
How are you guys
Because,
going to
yeah,
feel
because
when it's just the Earthrise Megatron with some longer thighs or something?
Bad.
Well, then that'll be a bummer.
Yeah, bad.
I think that is the most likely outcome.
Wait, will
Galvatron.
the thighs be thick?
Sure.
My life will be saved, so that'll be nice. No, they cannot trot out that mold again. It needs to die.
They shouldn't, but can they? Mayhaps.
You sure can.
Mayhaps.
That's all the crossover football guys.
That would be
they're
hilarious.
all Megatron.
Yeah, because football players are built
Megatron.
like tanks. They're
'Cause
built
they're
like
built
tanks,
like tanks.
and they wear helmets.
Yep.
It's solved.
No.
What if
32 more.
What if it's what if the NFL thing is awful and it's just like every team gets a transformer, but it's colored like them. Like you get Dallas Cowboy Bumblebee. And that's it.
I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. It would be strange, but I mean, fine, I guess.
Actually, that would sell a lot to
Yeah,
have
It
like,
would.
then you
get
could have Detroit Lions
Panthers
Megatron.
Brawn, your Cowboys Bumblebee.
I would
your
own a
Packers
Cowboys
nothing because
toy.
they're terrible. Your Patriots absolutely nothing because that's a garbage team franchise. Yeah.
Sorry, I brought us back to NFL. It just popped
You get a black and white Starscream for the Chiefs because their uniform is black and white and stripedy.
I mean,
Right, Lucas?
you want to talk about a toy
What
that's
are
worth a
you
lot of
even-
money right now?
What?
Holiday
I
That
said
was
that
a-
the Chiefs are the referees.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a really stretch joke.
I was trying to figure this out. I was like, what exactly are you talking? Yeah.
It was a stretch joke that
was
involves
not
a bit of
that stretch.
delirium, I believe.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know anything about this, man.
Anywho,
right, so what were you saying, Paul?
what else are we excited for?
I thought you said something, Paul.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
in-
remember.
We're getting Superion next year. That's exciting. Superion and Devastator. But yeah,
yeah.
Superion I'm more excited for than Devastator.
Yeah, because we've seen Devastator, and it's something.
I gotta.
It is surely not bad. It is
Surely
surely
not
not bad. It just doesn't. I don't think it's going to utterly dethrone the old one like we hoped it would. which is fine. But can I just say a really nearby thing because I could have it as soon as I want that I'm excited for just because I've been really curious how it would come out. It's not
Tell us.
Hasbro, it's
Tell me now.
Takara, but it's Missing Link Bumble. I really want to see how that thing came out because I feel like it's gonna throw me off the boat. I feel like I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna be like, this toy's awkward and dumb. But I got Missing Link Optimus and I was like, this thing is wonderful, and I hugged it, and it sits on my desk at work now and is like, I'm really cool, and everybody stares at it like I'm confused by this, and it's great.
I cannot wait for that to show up at my door.
Yeah.
I just want to look at the box and be like, oh my God! Like before I've even opened it. Like, I am so stoked for Missing Link, and it is coming. Like, I think they're speeding up with the Cordon and Sunstreaker because that'll be out in March. And remember, it took a whole year from Bumblebee and Cliffjumper to come out after Optimus. So they're speeding up. It's taking the same trajectory as Masterpiece did.
I mean, I think
so they'll just never finish all the characters. They'll just stop.
Yeah, they'll just stop at one point. But they'll go for a while.
Cool.
They'll go for a while. We'll get some stuff.
I think they could go for another 20 on that.
I mean, it obviously depends on how well it sells and whatever.
I'm sure Bumble and Cliff sold well. I just don't know how they'll affect people's, because the Optimus is great, right? Like, that is really cool. But I don't know. I have a feeling the Bumble and Cliffjumper will probably be more of a like, this is novel than this is actually good. You know, like I don't see those actually sitting in your hands and feeling good. I could be wrong. I could get it and be like, wow, this toy is worth the higher price tag and it's really cool and I love it. I could be surprised, but I'm just not expecting it this time.
I think you're right. This was a ballsy second trot out the gate with these little guys. Like, it's kind of like shocking that that's where they went. And not like something like Soundwave or Megatron or something like that.
Or even Sunstreaker, right? Sunstreaker is a goofy looking dude, but he'll be a normal, competent toy because he's big and there's plenty of toy to work with. So he'll be competent and functional. But like, even if you look at Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, they did some weird stuff to get their arms to work. And that's going to be a little awkward. And they're tiny. So...
I think what comes across the most for me is the build quality of these toys.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So far, it's been very exceptional. So if these are floppy and like feel cheap, like they're gonna suck. But if they're stiff and like you can put them in all these poses and it feels good, that's gonna go a long way with people. And I think that will feel it. It has to have that quality to demand the price that they're asking for.
I agree.
And if it's not, they messed up.
And that,
yeah, because they're expensive.
I was gonna say, like, that's where I kind of feel like that build quality, like especially with the Optimus, like, I mean, just comparing that to the G1 Optimus Prime, I mean, you can tell like it is definitely a step up. In, you know, just weight and heft and quality and all that. And so if that's the same thing with the Bumblebee, but the thing I think is neat about the Missing Link toys is that there's just something about the G1 toys, like some type of, I'm not even sure how to put it, like, I don't know, like nostalgia or just goofiness about some of the toys. Like, there's a look to G1 toys that modern toys don't have, right? And I feel like that they're doing, like, they're making sure that that is still included with these Missing Link toys. And that's where, like, I kind of complained before about the heads on Bumblebee, right? Because, like, the you know, instead of making like a normal or like an animation accurate head, they're making them look like the toys, and so they're weird flat kind of things. But like, that's kind of the like appeal to this line, right? Is that like, it's like they're giving us the G1 toys, like like what we thought the toys were when we were kids, but like we look at them now as adults and we're like, okay, these kind of suck a little bit, right? Like that they're giving that to us. They're like, oh, here's a G1 toy that you actually like think it was. So
I just agree in my world with that retro packaging line that at Walmart next year, where they gave Bumblebee, you know, an animation head, where I really would have liked to have had a toy head for that particular line. Gears got one, so why doesn't Bumblebee have it?
Because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Christian
But, I mean, I get it. I think what I figured out is that our age difference means that I didn't grow up with G1 toys. I just only had the show, so that's how I know them. I mean, I had a couple of toys because I would get them secondhand. That's just what would happen. But as I'm transforming this one, I want to make my point. Sorry, that I $25 care about this concept. I do not 150 or whatever Missing Link Convoy is care about this concept. I think it's neat.
That toy's all right, but when you go to the build quality side of it, that seems like a knockoff comparatively. Yeah. Just the quality of the toy. It makes me feel like we're paying $25 for kiddie garbage, you know, for regular deluxes, which are decent toys. They're just not the same quality.
Because I do want that Sentinel. I just don't care about having it in that version. But like this as yellow Sentinel, fine, give it to me.
Yeah, have you got into play with the Missing Link Convoy, Christian? You should sometime, like if you ever get a chance to, because it's just you don't want it, but it's an exceptional figure. Like it's something you can appreciate as this is really good and really well made. I'm just hoping the other ones are just as good. You know, I'll go ahead and throw my hat and say I'm excited for Sunstreaker 2 if the Bumblebee and Cliffjumper are good. If those two are good, I'll probably be in for Sunstreaker. If they're not, then I'll probably step away.
I suspect I will end up with RC if they do her in the prototype colors.
Yeah, why not?
Because where else am I going to get prototype colors RC except from Super 7? And I don't want to buy Super 7 stuff anymore. So
you gotta get the RC.
I forgot about that. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some left field fun there.
RC,
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's cool that we are getting something that's different, right? Because
me too.
We already had like we've bought these all as masterpiece figures, right? We bought these all we've gotten Legends, we've gotten Hasbro mainline, multiple iterations of that. So I don't know. It's kind of cool that we're getting something. Like I feel like at this point, if Hasbro releases another masterpiece, I don't think it's really that interesting. Whereas I actually do think that these toys, to see what Hasbro is doing with this, to me, I feel is more interesting to me. And getting this toy in hand and being able to mess with it and see how they decided to do the toy, I think is interesting.
Yeah, it's almost what parts are they going to keep and what are they going to tweak?
Right.
You know, I wonder what the meetings are like when they're coming up with this stuff. You know, I bet they go over it a lot.
Probably
back and forth. There's a lot of care put into these for sure.
Right.
I hope they brought Yoke into the Sunstreaker meeting because I think he's primarily retired these days, but. That's a Yoke design, and that's the first Transformer. I think it's really cool that they brought him into that line.
I'm actually shocked it was Cordon instead of Spin Out. I predicted that they would actually release CO5 as Spin Out and Sunstreaker as 06, but I was wrong.
I think they'll do Spin Out as a exclusive, just like they did for Sentinel this year.
I would like it if they do a black one, you know, somehow. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Do that.
Yeah, RC will be after that. Oh, is Hoist after that? Did we see that?
Oh, all we've seen is the RC, and that's not even a completed. They're not done. At the time they showed it, that wasn't a finished thing.
Cool, I just made up the other one then. Yeah, RC will be after that.
They're gonna do a Decepticon. at some point. I think they might wait till they get to like C10 and then be like, switcheroo, Decepticons. But they could also just flip the script and suddenly say like, here's the Seeker. And then when they do the Seeker, that's when everyone's going to be like, missing link, I'm in. No matter what. I'm in. I need all the old
Well, yeah,
ones.
because then you wouldn't have to disassemble your toy to transform, right? That would be interesting. I do think it's interesting that they are doing dual releases each time, because you had both Convoys, and then you had Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. Now you have Sunstreaker and Corden. I'm guessing that means it's RC and RC prototype colors, or Nightbird, something like that. It's odd that they're doing two at once every time. I don't know if it means anything. It's just I'm noting it because it's interesting.
Makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like how they do the Masterpiece stuff when you get the repaints of the new mold right away.
So if you're doing a
Skids
third
and
version,
Reboost.
so the third version for Prime is Sentinel, the third version for Sunstreaker and Corden is Spin Out, or a black one. What's the third version, Bumblebee and Cliffjumper? Is that Bumper? Is that
Oh
Cliff?
God, there's so many things they could do, man. I mean, they could do the blue micro change one, which would fucking destroy the internet if they did that. So they're gonna do that, or they could do Bug Bite, or they could make it a black one again. I mean, or they could do any of the South American ones.
I'm just thinking,
Bolts.
Bumble Jumper has this whole thing, and now that's like Bumper as a character. They remold it again and do the other Penny Racer mold.
I mean, they could. They
Bumblebee
could. That'd be a whole other
they're not
toy.
the same
That
mold,
wouldn't
right?
be like.
They're different.
That'd be a whole new mold.
Well, whole new are Bumblebee and Cliffjumper the same mold, or are they different?
They're different.
Okay, so
They may
it
be
would
more
the-
different
the
now.
other
They're more
mold that
different than
Bumper
they
is.
used to be.
Just interesting. Or Anna could get her missing link list and be happy forever.
I would be happy. That would be great. It'll never happen.
Missing-
The character doesn't
Missing link
exist.
tap out.
I would like Wasp.
Wasp will be cool, and Wasp is getting a figure next year in Legacy, so maybe it's Wasp Renaissance. Yeah, I think RC will be RC prototype colors, and probably Nightbird. They'll just be like, "Hey, it's Missing Link Nightbird! Yay!" That seems to be what they do with RCs these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think it's really neat too to see Takara doing all this stuff, right? Like where not to say that the stuff that Hasbro's doing is interesting as well, but it's cool to see something different and to see that influence from another company.
Yeah, Takara has a cool year coming up with T-Spark. We're gonna get like T-Spark stuff and see what that's all about.
Yep. You mentioned the Godzilla stuff. That's part of that. The Rathalos is part of that. The new Lio Convoy is part of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That
they had
Toys
that hot
Rodimus.
Rodimus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, that'll be interesting to see.
That thing's going to be wild. Kinda.
Pick
Kinda
that
that.
guy up on Black Friday. My one little purchase.
There you go.
Yeah,
Little.
that one's going to be crazy.
I'm really
Goodness,
stoked
it's
for that hot rod. Like
I've got one on order. We'll see if I keep it, but
I still think from the way it looks, I still think it's half what I expected it to cost, which is great.
I agree.
I like it at. But I hope that line continues because that opens. That's like, I don't know what you call that, second party. That's like it's skirting the line. It's like opening the door to really good potential things for the brand as a whole.
I think so.
Well, they've just brought in a licensee to be first party.
Yeah, it's a baby step.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Towards, it's a really narrow chasm that could open real big at the end if we got really lucky.
Well, right. Like, why didn't they just come up with their own IDW Rodimus mold? Why did they go and do the Flame Toys one and make that into a Transformer? That is interesting. Wonder how that conversation happened. Don't know. I don't make the rules. I don't make those conversations. I could. I should.
There you go. Paul's
You guys
gonna have a live unboxing here on the show.
There we go.
Cutting the tape.
Snap it in half.
It's been sitting in a mall like Japan knick-knack store for 2 years, so it doesn't have the brand new car smell, but it's still pretty good.
We
What else
got
is going on next year.
we recently was it just a rumor that we're getting Lego Soundwave, or was that an official like leak
That's a rumor
rumor?
Well,
Okay.
it's
for right now.
it's legit. I mean, it has
It's
a product code.
listing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same way the other ones were, leaked.
So that'll probably be next year because those first two are just outstanding. They're so much fun.
You made the Bumblebee?
Yeah,
You like it?
it's really fun.
Pretty good.
I really loved putting it together. It was great.
I
It's not
haven't-
as good of a toy as the Optimus.
But the build was fun. I mean,
The build was really fun.
that's a big part of it.
You build a car. You build him as a car, where you build Optimus as a robot. So you get to unwrap him basically, because you
Yeah.
build a car and then you're like, ooh, does this really turn into Bumblebee? And then you're like, blah, 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 and it's a little complicated, and then you're done, and it's a Bumblebee statue, whereas Optimus is an Optimus toy. So it's a little,
So there's
it's a
slight
step worse, but they're slightly different. Yeah, it's like they look right together. It's just the Bumblebee moves like a third as much as the Optimus does.
I found one at like a Walmart, and I haven't seen those in stores much. The Bumblebees, like I see the Optimus all the time still, but the Bumblebee is kind of rare. And I got one, but I haven't had the 2 hours to put it together or whatever, so it's just sitting there.
Yeah, I put it together during D&D one night, and it was fun. It was a great time.
I had to get out my leak lists for next year. I suspect that we're having a Transformers Tuesday next week, where we're going to see, among other things, G2 Grimlock in blue. And then they're doing a 2-pack of Slag and Snarl.
Okay.
And you can have a whole collection of that Grimlock mold.
Yeah,
Like
let's do
it has been released a
fourth
fair
one?
amount.
I do.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 5th one. Excuse me.
Don't forget Godzilla.
Nah, it'll be the
Right.
6th one. That's right.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out first, I suppose. We've got a new Skybite coming out next year. That sounds cool to me.
Oh, I didn't
That is
realize we're
cool.
getting a Skybite. Interesting.
Yep. And we're finishing off the Deluxe Insecticons toward the end of next year with Venom. Finishing off the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors with Horrible. That's a new thing coming out of leaks just this week.
Yeah, but that retool.
It's going
We
to be
said the
another
same stuff about
Target 4-pack.
Fangry and Squeezeplay. Yeah, it'd be in the 4-pack.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Cancer is really bad. Like
Cancer
that is
is
not
bad.
a
Don't
good
get it.
looking toy. It is really bad. But I mean the toy of Cancer is just It's rough.
I like him greatly.
good. I'm glad for you. I think his bot mode looks good, but geez, that whatever the heck he is mode, oof, it's rough.
And that Target 4-pack will also have animated Nemesis Prime, which is a really good deco for Nemesis Prime. Yeah, Aerial Bots. Studio Series is getting back to some original live-action trilogy stuff, which is cool. War for Cybertron Ironhide. I just opened War for Cybertron Ratchet this week. That toy's great. Even if you don't like those figures, you should
Oh,
get one
nice.
because it's really fun. Yeah. Primes, Wasp, Aerial Bots.
War for Cybertron Thundercracker. He's
Yep.
coming.
They'll be here in the summertime. Yeah, a lot of Studio Series next year is dedicated to Devastator, of course,
Right.
and Transformers 1, which is odd because you'd think they would have put that out now, but whatever.
Well, hey, the movie's already out of the theater, so, you know.
Yeah. So as we run out of steam, let me cross this over to the rarely touched by the three of you third party world and ask, are any of you excited for the Doctor Wu dinosaur cassettes? Because they're doing the
Yes.
dinosaur combiner friends.
Half of them, but yes.
Hey, they
Sure.
look, they're taking original G1 figures that really did not look good and changing them into good looking War for Cybertron sized cassettes.
I want to know what the black one is about because it looks good, but like, why?
They've
Same as
done a
green
black
slam dance, I
one.
guess.
They've done a black one of all of them. And I think they make them for Catherine to collect them. She really likes to get all the black ones.
All right. Congrats, Catherine. I hope you enjoy
I
them.
can't think of any other reason to do it.
I kept wanting green slam dance for something, but I just can never find a place for it because it's like, why are you green?
I got it and it doesn't do anything. Like, it's like I tried to pretend it was something else and it just doesn't really work. It's just a green,
I mean,
awkward guy.
I guess if you want to forsell it to me and I'll figure it out.
They're doing a lot of interesting things next year, or in the future. Probably will all end up coming out in 25. They're doing the Datsuns. They're doing the
Overkill and Slugfest.
yeah, they're doing Overkill and Slugfest, which is cool.
That'll be good.
They're doing their own Fort Max.
That's wild.
So they're little tiny Fort Max, right? Little tiny Fort Max.
We've already had
and a little tiny Scorponok to go with them.
World did it.
Yeah, this is much tinier, much littler.
What?
It'll be about the size of a deluxe figure if it goes with their Triptychon, which it should.
That's
So
kind
it'll be a
of
very
neat.
little Fort Max. Yeah, it's fun. It's novel. It's a little SD, like it's a little deformed looking, little
Yeah.
chibi, I suppose is the word people use. Not super deformed. So they're doing that. They've got the Datsuns coming. They've got the side swipes coming. They're doing both the Insecticons and the deluxe Insecticons in their usual Micromaster scale, which is kind of cool because, Insecticons are sometimes randomly small. So you could always have them in your collection and have random tiny Insecticon
Oh
drones.
no, don't tell me that.
But they're not that
No, you
expensive
just-
and they look cool.
You just made me a reason to buy them. I do suspect, though, with Dr. Wu's love of recolors, is that's where we'll get Paul's Insecticon colored deluxe Insecticons.
Oh yeah, those.
That'd be neat.
Someone needs to make that. What's everyone doing? They got their pants down around their ankles with that one.
I think Mark wants to make them. I just think he hasn't. Maybe once the whole team is out, they'll do it. I don't know. But
I think they
yeah,
would do
I
it.
think
They put them on the
Dr. Wu will
box.
do
It looked cool as hell.
it did look cool as hell. I think
it
it's
was
a really
awesome.
good idea.
Dr. Wu likes to do repaint, so I think they'll
That'll
I
happen.
think they'll do that. I'm
I'd
probably
much rather
forgetting.
have that than like another set of SG freaking Junkions. Like that would be.
I do want the SG Insecticons, but mostly because they're the Diaclone ones. So
Oh
know.
my goodness!
Do it all.
Was it like the first appearance
it's
on
our
the show?
producer. Look, there he is.
It is Henry on the show.
A rare
Hello, guy.
appearance
Good to
from our
see you.
There we
producer.
go. See, Christian, you get Roxy on there, and Henry comes running.
Can you even
He's
see her?
really-
She's
he is
right
so
there
cute.
behind me. She's that black lump right there. I didn't know they were doing Insecticons, Anna. That's cool.
Yeah, they are. They look good. Like they're just the renders right now, but the renders always look just like the figures. So
I really like your idea of making them be the small versions and the swarms and stuff. Oh no.
because they're Micromaster sized anyway, so it's not
Yeah.
like they're really a size that doesn't exist in your collection.
Nope, you're right. You're absolutely right.
They'll be fun. They'll be fun.
I think it will be. What is that?
Blocky.
It's a
Oh.
Blocky. Paul's
Shining
always
Blocky.
excited for Blockies.
The shining Blocky.
Oh wow.
Does he have a light in him?
Red visor. You can make him mean Grimlock if you want.
Ooh.
I have a third party thing I'm looking forward to, sort of.
that?
Providing I still like them when I eventually get to them, I'm looking forward to finishing off the MMC Commandos.
Yeah.
Those look really good in person. I've got 2 of them here now to open.
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you think about them, like once you open them up and transform them, Christian.
Yeah, I'll be sure to tell you. Something fell behind me. I don't know what it was.
Is there
Check
any
them.
is there any trans art on the horizon that you're excited for, Christian?
Depth charge.
Oh yeah. Have we seen pictures?
Just renders so
No.
far. It was supposed to
Okay,
be up
once
by
I see pictures of it, I will
October.
probably be very excited. All their stuff has been bigger than the original, so that'll make that thing epically huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Depth Charge was already a really big toy.
Too big. You know,
I love Depth Charge though.
maybe it's just because where I am in my life at this exact moment in time, but there were a couple little sales on Primal and Megatron for Black Friday, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not that I've cooled on Transart, I don't think, but maybe I have. But Depth Charge, I'm very excited for, and probably Rampage after that eventually.
So, what do you think of this idea? And this is nothing related to what we're excited for. I mean, kind of. But since the rest of us are excited for Missing Link and you're not, what do you think of Transart as sort of a missing link for Beast Wars?
That's interesting.
Because they're not really MP style. They're more like
They're
a
size, and
remastered
they
toy.
fit in, but they're not masterpiece toys.
Yeah, they're more like remastered original toys, which is kind of what Missing Link is.
I accept this.
I think they kind of hit that same spot for me as someone who collected Beast Wars when they came out, and I wasn't a kid, but I was a teenager.
You know, getting the Transmetal Cheetor really unlocked that kid thing for me, because like I didn't have that one as a kid, and then when I got it as an adult, like toy, like, you know, it's a Beast Wars toy. That's what it is. But then I opened the Transart one. It's like, holy crap, this is the guy. So yeah, I think I accept your definition.
The Tarantulas was like that for me. That's the only reason I thought of it, because I loved that original toy when I got it, and it was like, ooh, this is just like I have it again, but it's even cooler than it was back then.
Is the build quality comparable?
On those exemplars, yes. Like Tarantulas is, but then I also have their Spider RC, and her build quality is terrible. So
not terrible, but not good.
Bad.
It's
at least bad. So I'm going to say it's not nearly as reliable.
You hang out with actual KOs with actual terrible build quality, so it's not that. That's what I'm saying.
I find it far more frustrating than those, though, because you know what you're getting with those.
That's true.
And with how much people were hyping Transart, and that was my first Transart toy, right? How much people were hyping it, saying it was so great, and then I get that, and I'm just like, what is this? Why is it so bad?
I wish Rat Trap was better. It's not bad. I wish
I
Quick
haven't
Strike
got
was
that
better.
one because I'm afraid I would feel that way.
Quick Strike essentially is the original toy.
Yeah, that's Quick Strike seems like he really fits that Missing Link bill, where it's just like he's just the original toy, but a little better. Or the theme with the Missing Link Beast Wars would be that it couldn't be as much better, right? Because just getting it articulated would be like adding 5 points of articulation.
Well, and I haven't handled them yet, but Primal and Megatron, like, those look like they have substantially improved, and plus your Megatron won't shatter at the waist. But it's also $150, and it's like, okay, do I $150 need that?
Yeah.
Whereas if it were a leader class toy, I would do it instantly, of course. But
My turn to have a cat on camera.
Yay, cat!
That doesn't look like a cat.
I'm not sure you know what a cat is.
I don't. Lilith knows what cats are.
How's that, Lilith?
I gotta bring my dog to the office this time.
Right.
I know you do. Then you can show your cat too.
When he eventually comes out, because what they're going to do is they're going to take away that giant trigger tail. They're using like an actual action figure rather than a play action toy thing. That's frightening.
I love it.
It looks pretty good. What is that? Who makes that, Paul?
Genetic sunblock.
No.
Sorry.
Who makes that?
It's actually a NECA toy, and
I figured it was
closest thing
NECA.
I have to a pet. So
There you go. All right.
Well,
Well,
third-party stuff I have is like DNA stuff on order. Like,
yeah.
I do that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for DNA Dino Keen because I think it'll make it more fun.
hey, I'm excited for a third-party toy.
Yeah.
What's
yeah?
that?
That Drift sedan that has a chase figure in a case of the toys. Did you hear about this?
What now?
Yeah.
It is crazy. It is a new world of uh-oh.
What is this, Paul?
There's a Drift toy that's like a retro kind of like, I don't know, Japanese sedan.
It's the initial D drift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Initial
It's Initial
D.
Drift. Yeah, the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know
It's a
what that
thing.
is. Is it a crossover?
The extremely popular racing anime.
Very, very, very popular.
Okay,
Very, very popular.
I haven't seen it. I haven't. I have my limits.
Initial drift, yes.
Yeah, so that toy's coming out, but they also threw in like, oh, here's a like wild Japanese like rising sun deco on the car,
Uh-huh.
but it's 1 out of 12
1 in 12.
randomly,
Oh, wow.
and I don't think boxes are marked.
Nope.
So
Dang.
And all the retailers are putting up disclaimers because they're like, hey, you might get the chase. You probably won't, but we don't, our hands are tied. We're off. Because
yeah,
we'd have to open it to tell you which was which.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they can't hunt for it because they would have to break the tape on 12 figures to get one, right? Like potentially. They probably wouldn't have to open all 12 to figure it out. So they just have to leave it open a chance too, the retailers.
That's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for them.
I'm curious.
I think it will.
It's
'cause
weird.
People are gonna care. Most people open that shit anyways, so it hardly matters.
Yeah, I don't think I would be excited. I think I want that. I think it's really cool. I think that's basically another crossover, right? That's crossing over Drift with classic anime, and that's really cool. Plus, the amount of good Drift toys out there is pretty small. So having a MMC taking a shot at a G1 style Drift is really cool. And I don't want the chase figure because I just want it to be the car.
Right.
I just want it to be what it's supposed to be. I don't want the chase version. So it'd be interesting if I got it because it would be like, eBay, can I make money?
I think that's good that the one people really want is not the chase. The chase this is a good application of the chase marketing tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like make the weird one the special one. Like not everyone's gonna want that, so make it kind of fun to get. Make it hard.
Right.
I just thought it's notable and cool, and it is kind of a neat looking toy. And I bet if it's really successful, we'll see more stuff in that vein from third party companies.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, have we done enough excitement for one night?
There's a rumored Cybertron capsule at Walmart next year. That's exciting to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's exciting.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, you figured, assuming they're doing another capsule thing, so...
And Amazon's capsule is Wreckers versus Mayhem, so that should be fine.
Uh-huh.
All that Mayhem stuff was on Black they were clearancing that. That was kind of crazy.
Right.
Amazon hasn't had a good run. I'm surprised they would do a combo of their two worst selling sets. They wanted to do even worse.
I think the Diaclone Colors Twin Twist is finally coming. Some Twin Twist is coming. It might be cool to reissue those in normal colors, but whatever.
Well, very cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you to everyone that participated in the chat. And I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Yeah. Good night.